Thank you, Frank. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our first meeting in the month of April. It's good to see you all. I would like to call this meeting to order at 6:14 p.m. Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Trustee Bowman,
Present.
I'm present. Trustee Dooley,
Present.
Trustee Groves,
Present.
President Hannah,
Present.
Trustee Miller,
Present.
Treasurer Terry.
Present.
We have a quorum, 7-0.
All right, thank you very much. If we can all could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, before we get started with our agenda, I want to take a point of privilege to address some of the concerns of our community members. And so I want to just share with you as it relates to the notifications that has gone out in our district as it relates to layoffs, and also just share some updates as it relates to our finances as well as our interim superintendent. So Dr. Leverett, I'm going to ask you to please proceed.
Thank you, President Hannah. Trustees, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
The past week was one of immense challenges for public school districts across the country as we received multiple announcements of major national funding cuts that further decimated budgets and the rollback of promised ESSER funds. These cuts, along with our own internal financial challenges, culminated at a time of looming contract deadlines, which led to the very difficult decision of implementing layoffs and position eliminations for the 2025-26 school year. This decision was something that was handled with great care. We have been discussing these concerns for several months and, of course, hoping it would not come to this point. Unfortunately, we are in a time where we haven't been able to beat the clock, and we have to make these calls at this time. Please know that we are working at every turn to be proactive in finding additional funding sources and ways to pivot within the district. If your building and department has ideas to be more costly effective, please share them. All ideas are warranted and welcomed with a high level of respect. We are all in this together. At the state level, the Michigan Department of Education is fighting back on what is occurring nationally as are districts across the country. We are optimistic that we will be able to come through this and be able to call many, if not all, of our staff back. Again, we are optimistic that we will be able to call many of our staff back. This is an incredibly difficult time for educators everywhere, and it is important for us to not lose sight of what is important, our children. Let's continue to stick together. These are tough times in our district and in this country. We must stick together.
Thank you, Dr. Leverett. Now, as it relates to our finances, as we all are aware, several changes have occurred nationally, as Dr. Leverett has mentioned, that will impact us financially dramatically. Although there are still many unknowns, we have been working for months in anticipation of these changes to evaluate and pivot where necessary to best serve our students as well as our staff. We are very serious looking at the financials across this district as a whole. This spans across every department, every building, and every program. Everyone in the district has had to take a hard look at numbers and how they may have to change for the future due to the unexpected, drastic funding cuts that are coming our way in the immediate future.
The board is looking at their pay scale. They are assessing their meeting attendance and working to reevaluate the compensation and time involved. The reason some board members have recently reached their meeting limit is due to their significant involvement in important committees within the district, such as district hearings. We are very fortunate and grateful to have board members who want to put the district first and be a fabric of the district, and thank them for doing their due diligence in an effective and appropriate way. And we are grateful to them for exploring ways to continue this for the future. Additionally, the board and administration's focus for the past several years has been on financial stability and academic improvement across all grade levels. We will continue to prioritize students first, as well as those elements, and remain steadfast to our commitment to those goals.
Over the past several years, our financial audits with Yo and Yo have come back with zero findings. We remain diligent in our commitment to being on top of things with our finances and documentations at every turn. Under the past board leadership, the board did not require monthly board updates. We are working diligently as a finance team to make sure that we correct our course of action and to bring the board up to date under the new leadership, requiring monthly return of updates going forward as outlined in our board policy. This will give a much clearer picture of where we are financially on a regular basis. Now, as it relates to our interim superintendent, Dr. Leverett, in January of 2024, Dr. Leverett was asked by the Board of Education to step into the interim superintendent role for the Pontiac School District. She was asked to take on this role without any advanced knowledge or preparation due to the emergency nature of the need for her to assume the position. Now, although more than capable to perform the duties of a superintendent, Dr. Leverett was put into a job she had not been given any prior immersion, preparation, or acclimated into the role. Additionally, she was thrusted into a position where the entire district was experiencing a major crisis, upheaval, and she had no access to past leadership to gain valuable insight to make her transition smooth. In nearly all the cases of a new superintendent coming into any school district, there is a lead time of understanding of all elements of the job, current challenges within the district, needs, and goals. Due to the circumstances happening at that time and recommendations of previous board leadership, not only did she not receive that, but many of her key cabinet members were also brand new in her position. So in spite of all of this, Dr. Leverett has risen to the challenge. She has done an exceptional job under extraordinary circumstances. She has worked diligently against the odds to rebuild a district that has been fractured due to fear of distrust stemming from internal issues within this school district, challenges that are happening in the world around us right now, and her own learning was curbed. So as the Board of Education, we are continuing to work to improve our role in the district as well. The MASB Board Resource Guide states that the roles of the Board of Education is not to run the school, but to see that they are well run. We are working with Dr. Leverett and with district leadership to deeply evaluate and assess every department and area of the district, its productivity, its effectiveness, and the purpose of us serving our students. Dr. Leverett, as it relates to her evaluation, she has received a review as Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction during the 2023-2024 school year, which carried her through last year. She is now in the process of being evaluated by the Board of Education for her mid-year progress report and is in discussion of the goals for the 2025-2026 school year as part of the review process for this year.
As it relates to ILA, ITA, and PEACE, one of the first proposed recommendations as we move forward towards the next phase as a district involves PEACE Academy, ITA, and ILA. You will hear more of those proposals from me in my report this evening. One of the things that I want to let you know is that we have heard your concerns in regards to ILA and the offerings that it has for our students. ITA will remain the ITA program. ITA will remain the ITA program. So if the program is good enough for ITA, it's good enough for all Pontiac School District children, kindergarten through 12th grade, with a focus on project-based learning. using my teacher wait time. ITA is a program that's good for all children, and that motto will be implemented in all schools in Pontiac School District. We started with a strong application process, a strong GPA process, a strong collaborative process that was built with many people and many people's input and ideas. That is exactly how we plan to move forward with phase one. ILA will roll into the ITA program so that every child at ITA will have an opportunity for rigorous program offerings. All students in Pontiac School District, K-12, Pontiac Middle School, Pontiac High School, ILA, Rogers, Alcott, Harrington. There, I'm going to get in trouble for missing a few, but all children, Kennedy Owen, all children deserve a high quality education. And that is exactly what we, everybody in this room that has any interest in advancing student achievement, their social emotional learning, their college and career readiness, we have a unique opportunity here to do some great work moving forward. So we listen to the parents, to the community, etc. There may be additional questions about what those additional phases look like. We don't have it figured out. I'll be coming around to all the schools, talking to community members, talking to parents, talking to students about what that looks like. But our goal for the 25-26 school year is for us to move forward with ITA having their own building code and taking a deeper dive into project-based learning. What will happen to Peace? Peace will relocate into the ILA building. I'm sorry, the ITA building. Peace will relocate to that building, where those students will have an opportunity, again, pre-K, or we talk about education from birth through 12th grade and beyond. So with that being said, our pre-K students will have an opportunity to then make a seamless transition into that ITA program. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Leverett. Continuing with our agenda, I would like to make a motion to amend our agenda.
So move.
Thank you. I need to amend the agenda to remove under our regular working agenda, the finance items report for financial report updates. Pete, he is not feeling well, so he's not here. So we're amending the agenda to remove that item and to also move public comments up to item D under meeting call to order.
So move.
Thank you.
Support.
It's been moved by trustee Gross, supported by VP Bowman, to amend the regular agenda by removing regular working agenda, the finance items, report A, financial report updates by Pete, and by also moving public comment up to item D under meeting call to order. Any questions?
Yes, question.
Yes.
Do we have a time frame where the finance item, the report from Pete will be put back on the agenda?
That should be back on the agenda, probably at our board governance, at our next meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Dooley?
Yes.
Trustee Gross?
Yes.
President Hannah?
Yes.
Trustee Miller?
Yes.
Treasurer Terry?
Yes.
P. Bowman?
Yes.
That passes 7-0.
All right, thank you. VP Bowman, we have regular moving public comments up. Do we have any?
Yes, we do. Your request to address the, I'm sorry about that. Your request to address the Pontiac Board of Education for 3 minutes is granted with your commitment that all comments will be delivered with courtesy and civility. Failure to do so will result in forfeiture of your allotted time. We have first up Candace Ridley, and then next Fred McFadden.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Candace Ridley. I am the president of the Pontiac Education Association. Thank you for giving me time to address you. Teachers are being hit, kicked, punched, bit, crashed into, and otherwise assaulted by students and getting injured. Teachers are being called profane names. These things are happening at all levels from elementary through high school. Administrators and district personnel preach about self-care, but how can we take care of ourselves when we are being attacked in the classrooms? Being a teacher does not provide an exception to federal labor law that says you are entitled to work in a workplace free of violence and threats of violence. Nothing in IDEA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, or other laws say that teachers and staff can be hit, punched, or threatened. A student's right to a free, appropriate education does not include the right to commit acts of violence. Lack of discipline from administration allows this to happen continuously. There was a conversation about adverse childhood experiences during the 317 meeting, also known as ACEs. ACEs include exposure to violence, and this would include witnessing violence committed by students against teachers and staff in the classroom. Also at the 317 board meeting, there was a presentation on how our students are struggling with reading and math. But the school district is spending $14,000 on esports, which for those who don't know what that is, esports is competitive video gaming like Fortnite. No explanation as to how the esports will improve students' reading and math capabilities. According to the data presented also at 317, ITA students are achieving better than the other buildings. One reason this is occurring is that ITA has smaller class sizes, which research has shown improves student outcomes. Instead of classes of 35, 40, and sometimes up to 50 in a class, why not have 20 to 25 students so students can get the attention they need? To you, there are numbers on a spreadsheet, a line item. To us, to parents, to teachers, to staff, they're the world. They're our future. They're our children. Dr. Hannah mentioned in the 317 board comments that the $81,000 consultant was brought in because staff doesn't feel safe talking with the administration. What has administration done to rebuild those relationships and foster a trusting environment? Dr. Hannah also said that the listening sessions were designed to assess our departments. So the consultant is assessing us. So we're supposed to open up and trust someone who is assessing us. The district keeps spending money on consultants. If they have to keep hiring consultants and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on them to tell people how to do their jobs, maybe we don't have the right people in the right positions, even though they're all making six figures. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I was going to yield my time over to the president, but she said she is done, so I'll just give my comments. I happen to be a person, I have to go back and, kind of research some things that have been sent to us through our emails from our soon-to-be superintendent. And March 10th, I highlighted this, and this is a statement that was in this letter. It said it was disappointing to see the continuing intentional spread of misinformation. And I sit here today to hear this announcement from our president and to our superintendent about what we have always expected. The changes that were going to come without having a conversation. Yeah, you heard from the students, the parents, but you did not come and speak to the staff. And as Madam President behind me stated, you would rather have a consultant talk to the district who has been loyal, who stayed in this fight when this consultant was with us back in 13, you reminded me of that. We still stayed in this fight. And yet we talk about respect. We talk about having simple conversations, and each one of you board members will not have a conversation with the staff. Now, you may have some staff that are your friends, your buddies, your cliques, or whatever else, but you're not talking to everybody to hear the concerns of the staff. As President Ridley said, I don't think we get up every morning and say, let me go to work and get beat up. We come in there to educate our children. Did you hear what I said? I said our children. But this whole planning is pretty. It looks neat. It's the future of it. And I'm going to say it, charter. Let's just call it what it is. You can say reimagine. You can call it the Skittles train. You can call it anything you want it. When it's all said and done, it's going to be a charter. And for those staff members who don't come to the board meetings or pay attention, understand this: when it becomes charter, you're fired. And you have to interview for your job again because all contracts are voided. So let's have real conversations with the staff. Yes, community number one, but put the staff in there somewhere. And let's just have a conversation, because I want to stay away from the word having the meeting. Thank you.
Cynthia Rush, and then Gil Garrett.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Ms. Rush.
I come before you today on behalf of our students for the Washington, D.C. field trip. This has been a passion of mine for the last 5 years, and I need you all's help. I have worked with the students. I'm working with some community members. Thank you to Mr. Bowman, who did a Bucks for Runs at the Phoenix Center. But folks in the community, folks here, we need some money. The students are in need of $10,000. We have only raised $580. They have tried to cancel this trip for me this year twice. I'm not letting it happen. That's why I'm standing here before you all. So we've had a fundraiser coming up. It's going to be at the Rolladium skating ring. Unfortunately, if we don't get at least 100 folks out to this fundraiser, it's going to be canceled. But we need more than just $20 coming from everybody. We literally need some sponsors. We have 10 students that want to attend this trip, but because of their financial situation, their parents cannot afford it. Therefore, I'm asking that I'm calling on my Divine Nine. I'm calling on my churches. I am a product of Pontiac, of the Pontiac community. I went to this trip back in 1978-ish. So I'm telling my age. But guess what? I still remember this trip. How many of you here went to Washington, D.C. and enjoyed it? Look at the hands. So come on, folks. I need you all to help us get our students there. Again, we need $10,000. By. It should have been this Friday, but I'm going to push it. She keep pushing me. I'm trying to get it to be pushed to the 30th of this month. But I need it ASAP. Whatever you guys, a penny, a dollar. If everybody in this community gave $1, we would have more than enough money to send the whole district to this Washington, D.C. field trip. So I know it sounds like a lot. I know times are tough. I know we're going through some cuts and some things, but guess what? Our children deserve it. Right now, the boys should have been standing here with me in their suits, because I was going to show you who the next president of the United States was, the next senator, the next the next leader, future leaders, and they are going to be inspired by this trip. We're going to also be visiting an HBCU, Howard University, just to motivate them to say, hey, you can do this, but we need you all. We need you. I even have a bag back here that I can take up collections. No, I'm just joking. But on a serious note, please, everybody, please don't let this trip fall through the cracks. I have such a passion for our children. I got into education because I wanted to see our children be able to have the same opportunities as our neighboring districts. They've been to Washington, D.C. back in November, back in January, back in March. We're going to Washington, D.C. if I got to carry these students in my car and make multiple trips to get them there. But on a serious note, please, come out, help us out, and support this Washington, D.C. trip. One more thing, you can reach me at 248-451-7514. I will come pick up your donations. Just call me. You don't have to come to the school, or you can simply visit the school. Now, I know I ran over my time. Who's next? Mr. Garrett, please work with me. Come on up, Garrett. You can help me punch this line. I need you all. I don't have Cash App. I'm old school. I'm sorry. Cash, check, or money orders. I don't have Cash App. But thank you. I am so serious. I'm about to cry because I have such a passion for our kids. Please don't let them down. Call me again, 248-451-7514, and let me know how you would like to make your donation. I also have some other people working with us, but thank you for your time, and I look forward to hearing from everybody. I do have a collection plate.
Just 1 second,
No, go ahead.
Mr. Garrett.
Go ahead.
Secretary David Smith.
Miss Rush, you didn't tell us the date for the Roladium
Did it?
or time.
It is actually, the Roladium is this Sunday, the 13th, I think is the date, and it's from 3 until 5. And I do have some flyers that I will leave here. And we have all you bowlers out there, sorry, Garrett. All you bowlers out there, we are having a bowl-a-thon on May 4th. Now, of course, that's past our date, but I know we got some bowlers out there. This is a family thing. So your families are allowed to come out. That one is also from 3 until 5 as well. Okay. Thank you, y'all.
No, that is good. So, good evening. Thank you,
Good evening,
board,
sir.
Superintendent. My name is Gil Garrett, and I've represented this community on the national and state level for the last 3.5 years. And this past weekend was the end of that chapter. And I want to say I'm grateful to this community, and I'm grateful to the staff, the teachers, because being an employee of the district is it's a roller coaster at times. And being previous staff and sitting on the board, I understand that dynamic as well. And so as far as being a national leader, there's some federal information that I would like to share with the board. And I'm kind of one of the ones that, you've known me, I've been in this district since I was 22 years old. I'm now 50. I'm not going to get into the whole back and forth of what happens in past and what people comment and things of that nature. The truth is the truth. But if you don't say what you want and demand what you want when there's not a time to do so, it makes it difficult to really have a frank conversation about what really needs to happen. And so I'm very optimistic of the fact that we're going to get through this challenge, because we've had to do this before. And past president and national leader Carol Turbin is here as well. I'm extending an olive branch, because not only is this my home, this is the place I plan on being buried. This is a place I spent 27 years. And no matter what you can say about me or try to create a narrative or things of that nature, I'm still a leader and a proven fighter for this district. With that being said, this is my olive branch. Can we come to the table and have a real conversation without all of the theatrics that could be played when times like this exist? These are our babies, all of them, including the 6,000 that is not in the Pontiac School District and the 4,000 that's out. We got about 14,000 kids that belong to us. So this is the olive branch. I wish you well, and thank you for always supporting me, and continue to support. We will still have a voice at the national level, because I've just been contracted with that lobby firm. And so they're going to know we're still here. And so I appreciate you. Thank you. Have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Thank you.
And the last person to speak is Jeremy Bowie.
Judge.
Well, I'm just reading how he put his own name on this piece of paper. This how he put his name.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Well, I sit at the 50th District Court, and I understand government. I understand what you guys are going through. It's a difficult decision. I learned that the city is a business. Education is a business. There's dollars to it. The court is a business. There's dollars to it. So I'm not going to comment on the plans. The only comment I would make, I will hope you have people in place to protect the social impact it may have. It was a lot of vitriol on this microphone the last couple of days, couple of weeks, and I talked to some of my students who stood up here and let them know, if you're going to merge them together, just be careful. But it's incumbent upon you guys to make sure that that merger is safe. I want to talk about, though, what I heard about a month ago, that we had a 75% graduation rate. But when you bifurcated it, ITA was 3.2. The high school was a 2.2. I hear a lot of stuff daily. In my legal career, I've worked on a lot of tough cases, heard a lot of things, saw a lot of tough stuff. So for something to sit with me like that for a month really affected me. Congratulations, 75% graduated. But if we continue graduating 2.2, I'm going to be sitting in front of them, presiding over their cases, because we're not giving them a chance to be successful in the future. The economy is bad. Jobs are going to go. People are going to be desperate. We have to equip these students to be successful in the future. Can I tell you how many people from this district who sat in my court facing life without parole charges? We have to do a better job. In 2017, I had a friend that brought me into robotics, and I stayed because of those kids. You have to ask yourselves, what culture are you asking these parents? Because the classroom extends outside of the classroom. The GPA from my robotics kids at ITA is a 3.93. That's the average. And we have 30 students. So there's an expectation when you come see Judge Bowie, the first thing I ask you is, how are your grades? I don't care about a robot. I don't care about a robot. There used to be 2 Ds, you get kicked off the team, 1 E, you get kicked off the team. You can't have a D or E and still be on the team. What culture are you requiring the parents to have? Because you can put all these requirements on these teachers, the training, you got to do this, you got to track that. But if they're fighting a home that's not creating a winning culture, it's a revolving door. So that's my advice to you. The plan is the plan. Whatever plan you put in place, if the numbers is still a 2.2, we got to readjust the plan. So when y'all get done with this plan, the very next thing y'all need to address is why 75% and why the Pontiac High School has a 2.2 and ITA has a 3.2. Thank you.
That's it.
That's all.
All right. Thank you. All right. Continuing on with our agenda, we're going to move to awards and recognition. Dr. Leverett.
Good evening again, everyone. This is exciting news. The Michigan Association of School Boards is pleased to acknowledge the accomplishment of at least one of your board members and/or your district's whole board for their achievements in 2024. We're very proud of board members who use their valuable time to improve their leadership effectiveness by completing individual and board development courses. We know you'll want to celebrate their accomplishments by attending the County Area School Board Association's meeting that's designated for this purpose. Congratulations, Pontiac School District Board, and thank you for supporting your board members and improving their leadership skills on behalf of Michigan Public Schools. We would like to recognize Trustee Kenyatta Bowman, Level 4 Master Board Member Award. Congratulations, Trustee Bowman. Mr. G. Kevin Gross, Level 4 Master Board Member Award. Congratulations, Trustee Gross. President Dr. Anisha Hanna, Level 3 Award of Distinction. Congratulations to you. Trustee Marcus D. Terry, Finance Certification Specialty, Level 5, Master Diamond Award. Congratulations. Please give all of our trustees a round of applause, because as we set high expectations for students, board trustees have high expectations, and they are very serious about their learning as well. So we are very proud and excited as we continue to move Pontiac School District forward. We know that we have trustees that are well able. Congratulations to you all again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The STEM with a Twist Club at Pontiac Middle School is an innovative program designed to ignite students' interest in science through hands-on, engaging activities. This year's the club's dedicated team of young girls, led by their science teacher, Ms. Tara Ford, has earned the prestigious opportunity to participate in the designation imagination tournaments through Oakland schools, making them the only team representing Pontiac and Oakland County schools. And this certificate of distinction is in recognition of Tara Ford, in recognition of your participation as the teacher leading the STEM with the Twist Club. This year, the club earned the prestigious honor of participating in Destination Imagination tournaments through Oakland schools. Thank you, Ms. Tara Ford. Ms. Ford, we pulled it off. I'm so excited. That's awesome.
We just got excited to go.
The global tournament in Kansas City. Congratulations. Awesome. Aviana Vega. Is Aviana with us? McCaitlin James. McCaitlin? Ivy Hooling? Okay, that's okay. Lydia Gonzalez Ramirez.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Lydia. Congratulations. Jatanya Carter. Come on down, Jatanya. Congratulations, Jatanya. And so again, this is just one example of the many opportunities that our students are afforded. And I can't thank you enough, Ms. Ford. Ms. Ford was fighting it hard. She said, Dr. Lever, we have to make this happen. I said, let's do it. And so thank you so much for your leadership and anything that we can do to continue to support you and our young students in these endeavors. We know that STEM for girls, STEM for all, but we know that STEM for girls is often one of those fields that's lacking. And so continue doing great things. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you again.
Any comments from our board trustees? Secretary Davis Smith.
I just wanted to say congratulations to our students for your awards, and keep up the good work. The sky's the limit. You can do whatever you want to do. And also congratulations to my board members for moving up and continuing your education.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any other comments? Yes, Trustee Miller.
I also want to congratulate all the students on your accomplishments. Please stick with it. Learning is an exciting thing. I'm here to tell you. I'm 21 now, but it's not that funny.
I'm sorry, sis. I'm sorry.
You know, I'm 21 now, but I still love to learn. So learning never stops. So
You are
keep up the
21.
good work.
Yes,
I just want to say how I'm always extremely proud when we have these meetings and we recognize our kids, our parents, and our staff. This says a lot, and I'm sending a message out to all of our students. It's my hopes and dreams that this room will be filled with kids that we're recognizing every board meeting. Um, it shows the hard work and dedication of the teachers, no matter the turmoil, circumstances that are occurring not only in the buildings, in their rooms, in their homes, in this city, in this state, in this world. We tend to focus and dwell on the negative because it's newsworthy. But I think it's time that we should really take a hard look at what our kids are actually doing to survive through all this negative. Let's fill this room up, teachers, principals, administration, board. Let's fill this room up with recognition of all our children. As I was always a believer of, it matters not the amount of progress, whether it's this much or this much, it's still progress. So I don't care if we recognize them, if Sally was the best tiddlywink player or George was the best marble player. Let's recognize our children for their progress, no matter how big or small. And I'm so proud of all of you. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you. Keep doing what you're doing. Ladies, keep doing what you're doing. And my last question, what school district you from? Huh? Say it again. Say it again. Thank you. Oh, I can tell they've been talking the whole time. Thank you, ladies.
VP Bowman.
As it's already been stated, this part is my favorite, where we get to acknowledge
Me too.
the good things that comes from Pontiac School District. Oftentimes we like to focus on what's not happening, but the things that are happening, the things that make us successful, which are you all. Thank you for the teachers who teach our children and to get them past the finish line. Like these moments right here, the robotics, the STEAM, this is why some people come to school. And thank you. And I'm glad that we have the space for you all to do these things. And thank you for being a representation of Pontiac School District. Thank you, because I'm your cheerleader. Because at some point in time, I would love for one of you to be sitting up here to making the decisions. Even at this age, I invite you to come and help us make decisions, because we don't do this for ourselves. We're doing it for you. So thank you all for doing your part and representing the Pontiac School District. Much appreciated, and congratulations.
Anybody?
Yep. I also want to say congratulations and keep up the good work. STEM with a twist. It sounds like you're doing big things over there as well. And it sounds like you're also going to, you said, is it?
We got invited we just got the invitation to go to global.
You go global.
28 countries
Oh, wow.
that participate around the globe.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say congratulations on that win as well. So I do wish you guys the best. Keep up the good work. Keep being that example to your peers as well. And hey, maybe, you can lean on them a little bit and get them a little involved with it as well. So keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. And then for my trustees up here, I just want to say congratulations to all of us, because I know we're all putting in that work, and we are trying to do our best and learn everything we can. I know it's a lot out there for us. And myself, as you know, I'm still learning as well. So let's continue to push forward and move this district forward. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Ms. Ford, I just want to say thank you for pushing to make sure that our students were represented in this space. So I saw the emails. I know what we were trying to do. So again, I'm hoping that in years to come, next year, we have even more girls that are available and willing to participate. So I just want to say thank you for pushing us. And girls, you make us so proud. So thank you for representing our school district well. All right, that's it. So thanks again. All right, continuing on with our agenda. Good evening again to our trustees. Good to see you here. Can I get a motion to accept the consent agenda items?
So moved.
Support.
They're gone now. Sorry. Sorry, we didn't get a picture.
Oh,
I moved too fast. My apologies.
they walking.
We'll have her to send us a picture so we
Yeah.
can post it. All right. So there was a motion made by Trustee Gross and supported by VP Bowman to accept the consent agenda items. Are there any questions? Roll call, please. Trustee Gross motion and then supported by VP Bowman.
Yes.
Get your mic. Get your mic. Yes.
President Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
VP Bowman,
Yes.
and I'm voting yes. That passes 7-0.
All right. Thank you very much. Information from the superintendent and administration. Dr. Leverett, the meeting is yours.
Thank you, President Hannah. At this time, I will turn it over to Dr. Devison.
Good evening to everyone. As the curriculum and instruction continues to try to show what we're doing at our schools, we want to continue with that. And today we're presenting ILA and SEA, where Dr. Charman will be the presenter. And it looks like her wonderful staff is here represented. So come on up.
Right, thank you. Good evening, everyone, to
evening.
President Dr. Hannah, to Vice President Bowman, to the entire board and Dr. Leverett, and this entire Pontiac School District. And so it is a pleasure to be here. I am the principal of ILA and SEA. ILA is pretty much the sister partner of ITA. You hear a lot about ITA, but it is really apropos this evening that I really highlight ILA because it is one of the gems in our district. And we have a beautiful, beautiful community. And so all of my ILA and support people just wave at me. Aren't they lovely? And so even before I get into our presentation, I just want to read the mission statement and the vision of ILA. And that acronym ILA represents International Language Academy. The ILA mission, the International Language Academy promotes leadership skills by preparing students to be global learners through dual language immersion and rich cultural experiences. ILA vision. At ILA, students are immersed in daily cultural experiences which foster a celebration of diversity and community involvement. As a community, we uphold high expectations for academics, attendance, and character development. So that's who we are. All right, so first slide. Our enrollment at ILA is we have 269 students. We have 12 general education classrooms. And with SEA, there are 27 students, grades K-6. There are 4 ASD classrooms. Next slide. Our attendance. We have 10% chronic absenteeism, and that is relatively low because 90% of our students attend school regularly. Teachers are diligent in monitoring attendance with the attendance tracker. Teachers have developed strong relationships with parents, keeping them notified on all aspects of progress, including attendance. And there are incentives for attendance, classroom and building level. There's also in the forthcoming months or so, I know we're in the last quarter, but we also plan to implement rewards for parents as well. And even today, over the past 3 months, there were 4 of our students who had perfect attendance all of January, February, and March. Yeah, you can give it up for them. So even though there's 90% of the students attending regularly, we still want to reach that 10% as well. Next slide. SEA, which is the Special Education Academy, which is primarily comprised of autistic students. And as you know, with autism, and this is Autism Awareness Month. Everybody aware of that? And so even with our autistic students, it's a spectrum. Some of our students in classrooms are nonverbal. Some of them still aren't potty trained. And then we have others who are very, very high functioning, even to the point that they are included in mainstream in classrooms. So it's interesting because I even recall as a teacher a few years ago, having an ASD student, he was mainstream into my ELA classroom, and he was extremely brilliant. You know, there were some social cues that he had some struggles with, but extremely brilliant, a masterful musician. And so that spectrum is amazing. They are beautiful. They learn differently. And many of them are quite honestly geniuses. So even as we are in Autism Awareness Month, just think about that as we celebrate these students who learn differently. They really, really have beautiful minds. So, however, with the attendance, we have 40% chronic absenteeism. So 58% of our students attend school regularly. There are only 27 of them, but still we want to make that effort. I'm looking at this next meeting with those parents in terms of implementing incentives for them as well. So teachers are encouraged to maintain records and follow through with truancy protocols. That parent meeting is forthcoming, and there are plans to implement rewards programs for parents. So we are still doing the work. It's the last quarter, but even in that meeting, I want to really, really reinforce to parents how important it is for students to be in the building. Next slide. All right, so our MyKIP goal updates. So I think the first step, and I know I have a lot of stuff on this slide, but I'll try to move expeditiously. The first step is the IPGP, which is an acronym for Individual Professional Growth Plan. What that means is at the beginning of the year, all of the administrators, we meet with our staff and we develop goals, because you know you have to have a vision in order to reach your goals every year. So I encourage my staff not only to have students meet, you know, we talk about typical growth with iReady, but I always encourage them, as they know, how are we going to empower our students to reach, what I'm trying to think, stretch growth, thank you, reach stretch growth. So they do that every year, because we know that typical growth deals with students growing and progressing, but that stretch growth deals with, it addresses proficiency. Also, we have professional learning communities, PLCs, where grade levels work together. They look at iReady data. They look at just really forecasting students, what students would struggle with. They learn from each other. PLCs are very, very important. I visited some of my team's PLCs. They work together as a team, and they help to coach one another. And so those are very, very important in terms of providing good instruction for our children. Administrator walkthroughs, HQIs, those are high quality instruction. That is a part of the goal updates. Intervention blocks. Our teachers provide intervention for our students. So we know that we have tier 1, we teach everyone at a certain level. But when you really, really dig into those students and get deeply into where they are, teachers also have small groups. They take time to give them lessons that are according to where they are on their level to scaffold for them. So that is very important. We also have MSTEP materials for grades 3 through 5. This is assessment season. And what I provided with my grades 3 through 5 teachers, something called Michigan Test Prep. So as we know, there's academic language, correct? You can nod at me. There's academic language, but there's also assessment language. And I think sometimes our students, they learn, you know, they have standards that they have to meet and master, but oftentimes the assessment language is foreign to them. And so even with Michigan Test Prep, we have, it was a trial and error. We said, hey, let's take a look at these materials. The teachers love them. We've been using them for the past 3 years or so. Okay, so we try to prepare them for MSTEP. There's tutoring. I'm trying to move fast. There's DEAR, drop everything and read on Fridays with reflection sheets. I want students to connect reading and writing. And really, anytime when students are in front of a text, engaging with a text, there should be writing, listening, speaking, and reading. Every single time. That's how they really interact with the text. Also, peer observations. We're going to do that again, gang, this year. So they have the opportunity to observe their colleagues in the classrooms. We've got iReady goal setting, individual conferences. We've got parent meetings discussing iReady data. Next slide, please. And there's more. Uh-oh, the ILA topic. I think I'm missing. Oh, it's at the bottom. Sorry about that. Okay. Also, we have a co-teaching model for ESL. And ESL is an acronym for English as a Second Language. And as a matter of fact, can I get you to come up real quick, Peggy, and kind of explain what you do and what that co-teaching model will look like? And any other insights you want to give us. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Peggy Barker. I'm the ESL teacher and program coordinator for ILA. And out of all of our students, 223 are English learners. We go by WIDA levels. WIDA is the test that is given every year by the state that's required. And it goes from level 1 to 6, 1 being the base level, like a novice, and 6 being a native speaker level. Students who receive a score of a 4.8 place out and exit the program, and we monitor them for 4 years just to make sure that they're not falling through the cracks. And, you know, if they need to be put back into the program, we put them back into the program. Currently at ILA, we have 103 level 1 students, 48 level 2 students, 56 level 3 students, 16 under 4.8 students, and 3 who have exited. Actually, we exited 5, but 2 went on to ITA middle school. When we look at the test scores in the iReady, and we look at the curve, there's such a thing in language acquisition known as BICS and CALPS. And BICS are the social language, your playground language. And that takes 1 to 3 years for our students to learn. The academic language, which is much harder for our students, take 5 to 7 years for kids to learn. And so when we're looking at the scores of iReady, and we've had such an influx of new students coming in this year, that it's flowing pretty much as we would expect to see scores. You know, the students are doing quite well. What I do basically is I poll kids, and I see only level 1 students because there's only one of me. I can't see all 223 of them, of course, but I do see 82. And I work on them with phonics. I work on them with phonemic awareness. I work on them with vocabulary and basic reading. And anything else, sometimes I work in concert with my fellow teachers if there's anything else that they would also like for them to work on.
Thank you. And so, and even with her thank you again, Peggy, being the ESL teacher, we are also looking at a co-teaching model to maximize impact for our ESL population. And so as a matter of fact, on Friday, we have a visit to a Waterford school who implements a co-teaching model. So we're just trying to leverage everything that we can to service our community. Let's see, so we've had ESL support. She talked a little bit about WIDA. And I do, when I get to the celebrations portion, really want to highlight how much our students are learning and growing. Because if you think about social language acquisition, 1 to 3 years, and academic is 5 to 7, correct? And so what we've looked at, and I'll share that a little later, even with iReady, the K1-2, that's very foundational, and even kindergarten is almost, I don't want to say a non-entity, but we're looking for baseline because there's no prior learning with them. And so when we looked at scores, particularly in the upper elementary, what students were doing, it is a miracle of what is taking place at ILA, at this little gym in the WHRC. So it's a miracle that's taking place. All right, so you can see I really love my school. So we've had literacy night. That was amazing. Our staff came out, parents came out. They had make and takes. They had some things that they could take home. There were games, literacy games. And our theme was get a scoop on reading. And so they could take home not just academic things, but some ice cream too. We're going to engage in a math bee, not a spelling bee, but a math bee. And you'll hear more about that. We're going to be doing Battle of the Books. As a matter of fact, when I was at a high school, even high school students love Battle of the Books. Okay, anybody familiar with Battle of the Books? Okay, so we're going to be doing that. And then lastly, we also do a 5th grade capstone project where our 5th graders, I don't have a 5th grade team member here, but our 5th graders actually did projects where they had to create a PowerPoint presentation really as a summation of their experience at ILA. And so if you like, I can share some of those with you from last year. Okay, real quickly. All right, SEA. We're going to go really fast. Once again, the IPGP is important, casting a vision at the beginning. Our teachers adhere to the IEPs. There's progress monitoring. As I said before, our very high-functioning ASD students engage in inclusion. There's administrator walkthroughs, differentiated small groups. I want to park there for just a minute because even when I've gone into some classrooms, the paraprofessionals are very, very, very supportive. And the learning target will be the same, but there may be different strategies, but the target is the same because the teachers are looking at how to differentiate appropriately. Parent meetings discussing iReady data, community-based instruction, they go on field trips, museums, etc. Next slide. All right, we're at the end. Celebration. So what you're looking at here is one of the ASD classrooms, and you see that was on St. Patty's Day. And of course, even celebrating March's Reading Month, the teacher, she was doing giveaways. Once again, we want to establish a community of literacy. And so that's what you see there. And then at the bottom, oh, you guys said the one at the bottom, we had a Valentine's Day, I called it a family gathering with my SEA parents. And so we just talked about the resources available to them. If they had any questions, they are very happy with their teachers. That's that in a nutshell. And then ILA celebrations. We've got Kate over there, and Kate is here. Just doing phonics first, doing what she does. She's amazing at it. We've got pictures of our literacy night, and then at the bottom in the blue t-shirts, that was Kaleo, and Kaleo is that music, that wonderful music community that comes and shares with our students across the district through via Kensington. So I do want to just take a moment to do a little bit more bragging, if you would just indulge me just for a couple more minutes. Even when we were trained with iReady, and our coach really told us, you said you're kind of looking at 50% for the most part. If you can get 50% of your students achieving annual, typical growth, that's a great thing. But at ILA, the overall median score of ELA was 61%, and in math was 56%. And then I have some quick shout outs. In first grade, Mrs. Mateer, who is here, her score was 71%. Second grade, Ms. Witt, reading was 64%. Third grade, Goddard, reading 84%. And 41% of her children were on grade level, either early, mid, or above. In math, it was 94%. Ms. Shaw, reading 83%. Fourth grade, Ms. Hensley, reading, math was 87%. Ms. Paulson, reading was 139% median. Math, 74%. Fifth grade, Ms. Dion, reading 90%. Math, 85%. Shinzing, reading 81%. Math, 90%. We are doing great things at ILA. Yeah. Great things. It is Absolutely. A gym. It is a gym in this community. I got one more thing to brag about. This book here, and I'm going to try my Spanish here. Donde está mi corazón, escrito por David Yoon, ilustrado por los estudiantes de la Academia Internacional de Idiomas, Pontiac, Michigan. What is in my heart? It was written by David Yoon, illustrated by the students of ILA. This is a published book where one of our Spanish teachers, they have a partnership with, they have some associates at Country Day. And one of these students, he came in, he did pass the volunteer checks, of course. He came in and he worked with our Spanish students. And all of the illustrations are from our students at ILA. And he was inspired by their stories, what was in their heart, about their families, about where they travel, about how they feel about where they are in their lives. Everything was inspired by our ILA students. And at the end of this book, and you can purchase it on Amazon, it says, David Yoon wrote this book inspired by the experiences of taking Spanish for 7 years throughout middle and high school. His passion for writing, learning, volunteering, and helping others has driven him to write this children's book. This is his first book. All proceeds from this book will be donated to the International Language Academy located in Pontiac, Michigan. Thank you. Do you have
Thank
any
you.
questions?
Thank you. Trustees, any questions or comments? Comments, all right, VP Bowman.
Thank you and your staff for everything that you do for our students. We understand that there are challenges, but you seem to have found a secret sauce to the program that you have. And thank you all for the work. It doesn't go unnoticed, and we appreciate you all. So
Thank you.
continue and pressing forward. Thank you much.
Thank you.
Yes, Trustee Gross.
Thank you. I'm extremely impressed with what you're doing. And as my colleagues know, I'm a pusher on attendance.
Mhm.
Bless you. And I had the opportunity to attend a class in this last in SBA. We just attended about attendance. And some of the things you said that you're doing is what they talked about in this class as it pertains to some incentives and recognitions. And that's going to be part of my report when you have us to report on what we learned. And I'm glad to hear that you're doing those things, because I saw how wonderful it is, and to see that someone in this district is doing this. I'm also the chairperson of the School Improvement Committee. And my next meeting that I have, hopefully soon, will be with the principals. And I'm inviting you as a principal. And it's just to come in and talk about some ideas, what we can share across the board for all of us to have similar to same ideas. If it's working for you, it can work somewhere else. So bring those ideas.
Absolutely.
So you'll get that invite, and I'll let you know.
Thank you.
I'll let everyone know. But I'm so appreciative of hearing what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Doctor.
Any other trustees' comments? I'm thoroughly impressed with everything that you guys are doing. We've heard it before, but just to see it in your presentation, it just again reiterates the strong support you have, the dedication of your staff, and just the commitment to our students. So again, thank you so much for everything that you're doing, and we really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
I just want to say thank you to Dr. I wanted to say thank you to Dr. Charman. She's doing a fabulous job.
Yes.
I wanted to give a side note. I was in the buildings and I was watching the teachers run their professional learning communities, and they had data spread all over the table and they were going back and forth. So I want you all to know we do celebrate the work that you do. You all are doing a fabulous job. And so thank you so much for your service. That concludes the curriculum and instruction
Thank you.
report.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you so much, Dr. Devison. All right, Dr. Leverett.
Thank you, Dr. Devison. Thank you, ILA. Thank you, Dr. Charman. Thank you to the wonderful staff at ILA. We really appreciate the work that you do on behalf of our students. And thank you for your great presentation. At this time, I wanted to give a report on the Reimagine Phase 1 plan recommendation. And I spoke about it earlier this evening, but I do want to say as our educational landscape changes to provide quality programs to our students. The Pontiac School District Phase 1 is one that focuses on the whole child and provides greater learning opportunities for our students, including project-based learning and the arts. And so project-based learning, a number of years ago, as you all know, we had a strong emphasis with project-based learning at Pontiac Middle School and Pontiac High School in particular, with the partnership that we had with Oakland Schools. And so that is just an essential question that a student is presented with at the beginning of the school year. And then they work through that through a series of inquiries and questions until the end of the school year. And then it is pretty much presented as a capstone, which is what Dr. Charman shared in terms of what her fifth grade students do at ILA. But again, Pontiac School District Phase 1 is one that focuses on the whole child and provides greater learning opportunities for our students, including project-based learning and the arts. We are excited to discuss our recommendation for Phase 1 for the 25-26 school year, which would include the following. Please know that these are a few of the things that we have listed, but we would still need some time to work through a lot of the other logistics. But ITA will be getting a new building code, and our staff is working with the Michigan Department of Education on this project. Moving forward, the expectation would be that the high-quality academic rigor that ITA offers could be duplicated across our district and include project-based learning. So ITA will have its own building code. They will continue with the same great programs that they have. We would like to expand it to include our entire district. We know that that will take some time and additional planning as we think about moving forward with additional phases of the plan. So we listened to our students' input, we listened to our parents' input and suggestions, and we certainly took those very seriously. And so the merger with ILA would ensure a seamless transition for students and families who will continue to receive Spanish, and it would allow for additional instruction in Spanish for all of ITA students as well. Peace would transition to the WHRC facility and are excited about the move as a 5-star early childhood program. This would allow students to make a seamless transition to ITA should families wish to enroll their child after successful completion of the Peace program. Phase 2 and 3 will be coming in draft form in the near future as we seek staff, students, parents, and community input. We hope you will join us on the journey of rediscovery and reimagining the endless possibilities of educational excellence for our students. And then these are just cost estimates for, but we can get more solid numbers to you, but these are just cost estimates for Peace, new pre-K playground, new class furniture, plumbing, signage, and miscellaneous modifications. And now I'll open it up for discussion.
VP Bowman.
So, Dr. Leverett, can you share, and I know Principal Harris is in here. She thanked us last time for the consideration for the movement. Can you explain why, can you share with the community, not explain, can you share with the community why the change is proposed for Peace Academy? Can you just let the community know what were the thoughts behind that?
Yes, so we have been concerned about Peace and the staff and the students and their safety for a long time now. And so as we started talking about what the future of our district could potentially look like and what that spacing move could be for students at Peace, we decided that the move to the WHRC ITA facility would be a viable option as they continue to grow their program, and those students would not leave after their pre-K experience, but they could actually matriculate to a program like ITA. And so that's when we started having the discussions about what that could look like for Peace. If it did not work at WHRC, could it potentially work at another standalone facility for them? But in the end, this was the decision or recommendation that we would like to bring forward to you all for discussion.
And last question, as far as I know that since we already have transportation going to the WHRC building, does this help ease in that process since we already have, or does that create a new thing with transportation? Does that make it easier or anything in that regard?
Yes, I think it makes it easier, as we had talked to Principal Harris, and we had talked to our student director of student services, that it would be an easier transition in terms of transporting the students to this location.
Thank you.
All right. Trustee, any other questions for Dr. Leverett? I do. Dr. Leverett, I want you to share. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Treasurer Terry. Go ahead.
Just I know we're talking about phase one, and obviously I'm looking forward for the next phase two and phase three to roll around. But I do one question I did have regarding the move with peace, regarding that facility. Is there been any discussions around that facility, or would that be phase two or three?
For the piece, we have had discussions, but nothing definitive. I know that there was some ideas shared around potential housing or potential leasing the space out to some nonprofit organizations that still have a need to provide services to our students in the district.
And then my second one I had regarding the estimated cost. And I know we talked about the playground furniture, plumbing, signage, et cetera, et cetera. Has that been reviewed also regarding around our bond budget?
Bill, can you provide some commentary to that? Because I had him put these numbers together, but that is where we were having discussions about where this could come from.
Yeah, we've looked at the equipment that will be needed, and it's all bondable. So furniture, the moving costs that would be associated with that. Sorry. The moving costs that are associated with the physical move from one building to another, the playground, it's all bondable funds.
Okay, so I guess
We've got some early on estimates.
Correct.
But we need to, once the board gives us the approval, we'll go out to the bidding process to get more accurate.
Okay. So I guess moving forward, if we could maybe have more discussions on that as well. I know originally, if I'm correct, when the bond and everything was approved, I believe there were plans established. I just don't want to go too far off course when it comes to those bond projects, and make sure that we are staying on task on what the community and the public also agree with. So
Yes, sir.
we could just review that when that time comes.
Mhm.
Thank you.
That's it, Treasurer? All right, I want to first thank you, Dr. Leverett, for breaking this down, because I know when we initially spoke during our meeting about what reimagining could look like for the district, there was a lot on that plate. So I appreciate you breaking this down and bringing this part back to the board for consideration. I do have a question for you, or would like for you to speak a little bit about it. As we were just listening to the report about ILA and ITA school, we've talked about this being a program, and it has been a program for a number of years. And so I noticed here in the recommendation, did we talk about being, ITA will be getting a new building code. So I want to understand what that means, so that again, when the board, this isn't something that the board has voted on, but I appreciate you bringing this here and we're having discussion about this. But I just want to get a little bit more clarity. It is currently a program, but now based on the state, we're talking about giving it a building code. So does that mean that it will now become a school? And it will no longer be a program in the Pontiac School District? So if you can kind of speak a little bit about that.
Yeah, that is correct. So for a number of years, there have been provisions made. I see there have been provisions made for ITA to be a program housed at WHRC, and as time has gone, as the years have passed, the school has been there. It stood the test of time, and we are really at a critical juncture where we must give we must provide ITA with their own building code so that it becomes ITA school and it is no longer a program. That is correct.
Now, is this something that just the Pontiac School District is deciding we've done this long enough? So now, or is this something that's mandated by the state?
No, it's the Michigan Department of Ed. They have told us since, I believe, last fall or maybe the previous year. I could get the exact information for you all, but they have been telling us this now for a while. And so when we started talking about the future of the district, the need to restructure, et cetera, that is also what has been part of the conversation, is the need for them to have their own building code.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. So, no, I thank you, because you had that in there, and I thought that was important for us all to understand, because again, as we were talking about what this could look like, and we've heard a lot from our community as it relates to ITA. I'm happy that it has been received as well as it has. And again, it was never the intent to eliminate it, but as you were stating, just trying to figure out, what do we do now? How do we move forward? And because it was either merging or
Right.
it becoming its own entity within the district. And I think because we hold this program to such high standard, and because we have a lot of parents that use this as an alternative to even charter schools or any other schools to remain inside of our district, I think that this will be a great asset for this school district, because we can now raise it even higher. So we can, the standards, the expectations, and how we go about recruiting for this school, should the district or should the board decide to move forward in this manner. I think this is as we said, it's a great thing for our school district, and I just wanted to make sure that the community understood what this meant, what you reported out. Any other comments, questions from the board? All right, thank you for sharing, but I look forward to us diving a little bit deeper into this when we meet again. All right, continuing on with our agenda, moving down to regular working agenda. For discussion, to discuss the quantity of meetings eligible for board compensation and board policy number 0144.1, first reading. So under board policy 0144.1, currently it sets compensation for board members based on 52 meetings per year. However, given the increasing demand of board members' time, the complexity of governance issues, and the need for enhanced engagement in the school district affairs, an adjustment to 75 meetings, which would include, that adds on an additional 23 meetings for the remainder of the school year, is proposed by updating board policy 0144.1 to increase the compensated number of meetings from 52 to 75, and to exclude from compensation closed meetings that will be held on the same day as regular scheduled board meetings from being compensated. Acknowledges the growing responsibilities of board members. It aligns with the actual time commitments required, and it supports effective governance. This adjustment ensures the board members can continue to serve the district effectively while maintaining accountability and transparency in decision-making. It is the recommendation of the board president that the Board of Education approve the update to board compensation policy 0144.1. And so I open it up to,
Point of order.
yes.
Mr. Seegers, is necessarily if we have to go for first reading without text?
You can have a first reading and then you have a motion to waive the
Waive
second
second.
reading.
I am making a motion that we waive the second reading, and that we take action in voting on this evening. And I'll give justification on why.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by trustee Gross, supported by trustee Miller to waive the second reading for the board compensation policy 0144.1. Any questions or comments? Yes, trustee Gross.
Being that I was the one that was placed on the front page of the open press as I was questioning the concerns on why everyone is up in arms about the compensation of this board. And it has been done so for several years. And we're just elected officials like others. But I need Oakland Press to read and understand this. There are 2 board members that sit right on this board that has missed compensation for 8 meetings. There's no retro. There's no reimbursement. And I'm one of the 2. So print that, because I continue to do my job and come to these meetings and everything that I was asked of as a position on this board. Let's see if you print that. We are doing the work of this district. The archaic number of 52 meetings for compensation, as I just indicated, is archaic. Things have changed since 1972. We are a working board. But you want to write things in the newspaper to make it appear as if it's negative because of the work we're doing. City Council is compensated. Oakland County Commissioners are compensated. And I've not seen an article written once yet on the concerns of compensation of those elected officials. So print that in the newspaper. There are 2 of us have not been compensated since February because we decided to attend all of our meetings and all of our subcommittee meetings, and we didn't change the number, the archaic number. So yeah, I got a problem with that. So print that and put my picture on the front page for that, and social media. Thank you.
Trustee Miller.
Thank you, President Hannah. I concur with what Trustee Gross is saying, and I have my own opinion about that. I understand why the community staff question, why do we get $200? I completely understand, because our enrollment is low, and to them, what are we producing for the $200 a month? We know what we do on and off. Per meeting, sorry, my bad. Per meeting. We know as a working board member what we do, but now the community and our staff and our students need to produce something. We need to produce something, whether it's make an action, vote. We need to do something different than what we have been doing, so that the community and our staff and students will feel confident, like, hey, that's my board member right there. I elected her or him, and I see them working. I see them trying. But what do they see us do now? I don't know. You know, I would rather give up my board seat and just come work for the district, because I'll switch to one of y'all. I'll come work for the district. You know why? Because people in this district, some are getting a whole lot more zeros behind a 2 with no accountability, little productivity, and nothing that improves student achievement. At least I'm working. Trustee Gross is working. VP Bowman, all of us here, we're working. We're trying to do our best. But it's a lot of other people that's got a whole lot more zeros, doing way less than what we do here for $200 a meeting. So make that make sense, because the math's not mathing. That's my problem. There should be retro. There should be retro to you guys, because this has been on the agenda off and on since February. Okay? So we can't, I don't make the agenda. So if I made the agenda, I would say, hey, we need to revisit this sooner than later. It's April. We're just not revisiting. That's not fair to the 2 of you as my colleagues. That's just my opinion. So I hope that can be worked out somehow for them, because they are here working, like all of us are here too. But let that sink in. A whole lot more zeros. I promise you that. For people that's doing a lot less work than what we doing here. So if any of y'all want to switch with me, y'all come sit at this board meeting for $200 a table. Let me get your check and take it home and cash it. Thank you.
VP Bowman.
As it was stated by my two trustees, this is meeting 60 for me. I capped out at 52. I'm still here. Haven't been compensated for the entire month of March. The entire month. Has anyone in this district worked for an entire month and not received their pay? So if I give it back to the community, I don't want anybody to come up here and say, you all don't care, this is for the money, because it's not. Because if it was about the money, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here. I'm here. I'm here, and it's not about the check. It's not about the stipend. It's about the community. So I don't want to hear that we don't care and we're making decisions for our best interest, because my best interest tonight, I'm sitting here amongst another colleague of mine, not getting compensated. And I'm here. It's not fair. My household has been impacted. Has any person in this room and outside of this room worked a month and say, I'm sorry, but I'll take it. I'll take the hit for the team. My family will take the hit, but I don't want to hear that we're up here just for the money. Because if it was just for the money, as Trustee Miller said, somebody trade me. If you all feel that I'm not doing a quality job, you are welcome to recall me if you'd like. Those things are true. That can happen. I'm not here for a paycheck. I'm here for my community. So don't say we don't listen, because we do. Don't say we don't care, because we do. Don't say we're not in it for our community, because we are. I know I am. I was impacted. My family was impacted, but yet I'm here. I show up. I'm expected to show up, and I do. I'm not showing up for the money. I'm showing up because I was elected. I'm showing up because I chose to run to serve my community. It's not about the money. It's about the work put in. But let's be fair. Let's be clear about it. It's not okay to get overlooked. It's not okay to feel shortchanged or anything. So I'll give it back. That's my gift to this community, my give back. But please don't think that it's about the money, because it's not. We've put in the work. So just like you all are showing up to class and other things, going out of town, showing up to class, sitting in classes for 6 to 8 hours at a time, we're continuously learning. So please just know that it's not about the money, and we're not in it to steal or take from our community, because this is a sacrifice. It's a 24/7, 365, for me at least, until potentially December 31st, 2028. That's my last, that's when my election term ends. So please know, it's not about the money. It's about the commitment to the community. So nobody's up here walking away with some fat amount of money, cheering and saying that this is, I digress. But just know that we are in this. I am in this. And I've shown up. I've been here, and I'll continue to be here. But let's be mindful on how we treat each other, because not everybody is in it for the money. Thank you.
All right,
And
any
I'm
other
retired.
comments?
Think about that.
All right. Moving down to action item. Can I get a motion for the approval of the, make sure I get the verbiage right, updated board compensation
So moved.
policies?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
So I thought that we were waiving the second reading first. I thought we were doing that first, or no?
What we do, they have to vote on that first.
Because
Wait
you
the
had
second
you had
reading.
made a
I thought
motion.
oh,
and
okay.
us-
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right. Let me back up. And can I get a motion to approve? It was moved.
Just vote. You want any discussion?
Secretary Davis Smith. Roll call, please.
Sure. Trustee Gross,
Yes.
President Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
VP Bowman.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. And Trustee Dooley.
Yes.
That passes 7-0.
All right, thank you. And that was the approval to waive the second reading. So now I'm going to move forward and say, can I have a motion to approve the updated board compensation policy
So moved.
0144? All right.
Support?
It's been moved by Trustee Gross and supported by VP Bowman to approve the updated board compensation policy 0144.1. Any comments, questions? Roll call, please.
President Hannah,
Yes.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
VP Bowman.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Trustee Dooley,
Yes.
Trustee Gross.
Yes.
That passes 7-0.
All right, thank you very much. Continuing on down with our agenda, we did our communications, petitions, and delegations. Were there any others that came through?
No, there were done.
Okay, all right. Board comments and announcements. We'll start over to my right. Trustee Miller.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending virtually or in person our Monday night board meeting. Okay. I just want to reiterate that I was elected to serve on this board, and I'm still humbled every time I walk in here. I'm fortunate enough to be a parent in this district and have a voice for these kids while my kid is here. That I'm fortunate to have that. But it is personal for me. When I wake up in the morning, I am Ma. Then I turn into Tanisha. Then at some point, I turn into Trustee Miller. Now, Ma, yeah, that's my one child. But now the weight of that extends to every single solitary child in this district. I know we don't know what the future looks like, but no time is better than now to wrap our arms around each other, support each other, check on people to see how they're doing mentally. Mental illness is real. Depression is real. Okay? It is. Check and see how people are doing mentally and our kids. Let them know that you care about them. Wrap your arms around them. The judge, is he still here? He said, what was his name? But Judge Bowie said that he presided over cases. I'm gonna try to get this up. You upset? We are graduating our kids, but what are we preparing them to do? Some of our kids are graduating in the 12th grade and can't read or write past the 6th grade level. So can they fill out a job application, let alone get a doctorate degree? Can they fill out a job application, open up a bank account, and know that their money ain't being cheated and stolen from them? I'm sorry to get upset, but I have a child in this district that didn't go here until he was in high school. But what about the kids that's been here since kindergarten, and they are kindergarten and in the 3rd grade, and they're still reading and math at a kindergarten level, and it's on the numbers? President Ridley talked about the abuse teachers receive from students. What can we do to support the teachers and the students? Our students are suffering emotionally when you compare them to our neighboring districts. They don't have the same struggles that we have here in Pontiac. So the teachers that are here, the staff that is here, they're here because they genuinely care about their kids, these kids. It ain't for the money. They're getting abused and everything else. But what are we doing to support them and to support our kids emotionally? Are they acting out because they're having a hard time understanding what's going on? Why are they acting out? Get to the root of the issue. Mr. Garrett extending an olive branch. We need to consider that. We need each other. It's a dire need right now, and it's all hands on deck to get through this. Mr. McFadden is concerned about a charter. What could we do to make our staff feel safer? What can we do? Because what we are doing now is not working. I want more than anything for our kids to have the confidence when we release them to the world that they can do anything and be anything they want to be. It scares me. It frightens me that Judge Bowie will be continuing to preside over our kids' cases because we didn't do them right when they was here K through 12. Why am I here? I'm so defeated. I feel so defeated. As a board member, I get blamed first, and I'm often the last person to know what's going on in this district. So I appreciate my relationships with the community because a lot of times I have to hear stuff from y'all. I don't even know what's going on in the district that I'm fighting for. I hope we can improve the communication and we could get focused back to what's really important, which is our student achievement for our kids. Thank you.
All right, staying on this side of the room, Secretary David Smith.
Good evening, everyone. Great presentation from ILA. I was very impressed with that. Everyone, I'm pleading for our city to come out to Roladium Skating Rink Sunday, 3 to 5, to support our middle school 8th grade Washington, D.C. trip, as well as Bowl-a-thon May 4th from 3 to 5 p.m. We need to support our kids so that they can see something different besides Pontiac. I always come on with my closing statements, pleading to our city to come together to help in the education of our students. Due to some of the president executive decisions, it's affecting our urban schools. Like Judge Bowie stated, it starts at home. Our teachers are dealing with emotional and behavior issues before they are able to get the instructional learning done. We have students starting school without knowing the basics, alphabets, 1, 2, 3, or simple as their first and last names. And I know this because I am a teacher. And this is nationally, this isn't just in our district. With our babies coming in behind with large classrooms, it is impossible to get the majority of our children proficient. This isn't a teacher or district problem. This is a city problem for us. I have never moved out of Pontiac because growing up, we all came together when times got tough. It wasn't a northern or central, go Huskies. It was it was a Pontiac school issue.
I'll let that one slide.
It was Pontiac schools who was great. We were great. Going to these conferences, I hear them speaking about us when we were back in the day, and it was always great things. We were great academically as well as in sports. We excelled all over. When my little brother Jerry passed away playing basketball at the age of 17, he was 6'9" and 200 and something pounds. It was this district, it was the whole city that came together to bury my brother. My mom didn't pay a dime. They had to redo his casket because he was a child, but he was 6'9". And it was our city that came together. They shut Pontiac Northern, Central, and the schools down for his funeral. We had, they shut the city down for his, it took hours for us to get from Trinity Church to Paramount, hours. That was because our city came together for a youth, for a student. And I need us to come together again for our children and help with the parents with their younger children who needs help with reading. If they can't read, they can't do math. And I see it every day, and it saddens me because this is our future. They are our future. Our staff I've seen do beyond the call of duty, feeding our kids, doing our kids' hair, buying clothes, donating so that they can go on different trips and things like that. It's not a whole bunch of, we don't have the parent participation, and that's why our staff comes together to help out when they can. and that's overseen as well. And I always tell you guys that I am thankful for you all, because I know what a lot of you do besides just coming in to work Monday through Friday, but the things that you do after work and before work, because I'm seeing you come in to make sure that students bathe and clothes are clean so that they don't feel awkward in school all day. So I'm just begging our community to come together to help our children with their educations, as well as come together so that our middle school kids can go to Washington, D.C. like I did, and like a lot of us have, because that is memories that last a lifetime. And so I just want to say good night, and everybody be safe and love on each other and pray for our city. Our city need prayer as a whole, but we need y'all for our kids because they are our future.
Thank you, Secretary Davis Smith. Trustee Dooley.
Good evening.
Good evening.
On a lighter note, we are the Chiefs. Back in the day, it was called "We Are Great, We Are Super Fine." We're the class of 1979, so we were actually a great, and we're still a good district even now, even though we're facing our challenges, and a lot of issues are arising within the district, in addition to the federal cuts that we may experience in the near future. But transparency is at the forefront of my responsibilities to those 7,617 voters that elected me.
I almost forgot that.
And I endeavor to make all decisions that support academic achievement. I want us to move from stretch goals to actual performance goals that will equal proficiency. Proficiency. And what I'm stressing that, because when we talk about meeting these stretch goals, all we're saying is that child is meeting the goals projected at that point. The missing piece is little Jennifer is in the 6th grade, but she's on the 2nd grade level. So she's meeting her goals 70%, 80%, but it's 2nd grade. And Jennifer is going to the 7th grade. So now we still have 5 years that she's missing. So it's true that the data reflects Jennifer is able to meet those 70%, 80% stretch goals. So let's get that together so we can develop and produce students that can become a contributing, productive citizen. Let us all remember that all roads lead to student achievement, student academic success. Every decision, every dollar spent should be able to correlate how it supports student academic achievement and sustainability. And my trustee, she said, let's pray. I say, let's push. Pray until something happens. What do we want to happen? We want to turn this district around. We want to be at the forefront. We want our students to excel. We want our students to feel safe. We want our parents to feel safe and good about sending their kids, that they're going to return back home the way they sent them, that they're going to come back empowered to learn, that they will be able to be globally competitive because they have the skills to read, write, analytically speak, project, all of that. So with that, I say we are working together. To my colleagues, I enjoyed our time together at the Cube, as well as the
NSBA.
convention. NSBA. And then the Cube is another portion that talks about urban boards. So it was good for us. Hopefully, you guys see that we are working toward representing you as a cohesive group, that we stand behind what we've decided as a group. And I'll end with this. We were caught by surprise too with those statements that came out about job changes. We do endeavor to make sure as much as possible that no one is left out here without employment. No one. So again, we are here to present transparency on our issues.
We're working closer, hopefully, to get this information disseminated in a timely manner. And again, I appreciate those that elected me. And remember that all roads lead to student achievement. And with that, I say good night.
Thank you. Trustee Gross?
Thank you. We are gentlemen. We are ladies. We're the class of 1980. Pontiac Central Chiefs. I got you 79. One of my favorite movies that I enjoy watching is called School Days. I don't know how many of you are familiar with School Days. Although entertaining, very entertaining, and it adds stuff about, you guys know what it was. But the most important part of that movie to me was the end, when Lawrence Fishburne rang the bell and he said, "Wake up." And there was a message sent around the campus, around that city, around the state, around the nation. Based on what's happening federally, we got to wake up. Things aren't the same. I have a very good relationship with our U.S. representative. And I sent her a text when I saw her on CNN, and she was speaking, and she was telling the truth. She was speaking the truth. And I said, "I'm proud of you. You keep telling them the truth, because the word tells us, for the truth will do what? That make you free." That means y'all read the word too. And she sent me a text back immediately. This is Congresswoman Haley Stevens. And she said to me, "Brother Gross, please continue to pray for us because things are difficult here." And that sent me a message saying how important it is that we stay on task and stay focused, because those people who are in federal government that are fighting for us is catching hell too. Can't discuss what we talked about in closed session, but I can say this. We came out of that room. We made a commitment. The 8 of us. To continue to work this thing together. Yes, we were surprised. But some of the things that occurred, and things could have been done differently, I understand that. But that doesn't make those who were part of this feel better. And I'm here to say to you, we're going to work extremely hard as we can to ensure that that recommendation, this is not approved, does not come to fruition in June. We're going to work hard, because there's some things that we can take a look at, some things that we may be able to adjust, even reconsider and change. But it can't get done if we're not working as a team of 8. I say to all of you who receive those messages, or that message, or whatever the case may be, do your best to continue to fight hard and do your job to the best of your ability. You may not hear it all the time. You may not be told, but what you do is appreciated. You're going to hear it today. I know that's not going to change some of the mood and how you feel. But all I ask is that we be patient, because we just heard today. We just heard earlier today. After all of that fussing and Facebook living and rooms filled, ITA is going to be made a school. And all we had to do was be patient and wait. But I see the glass half full and never half empty. And without those situations occurring, then maybe the word was not being heard the way it should have been. But I want to say to all of you, we hear you, we understand, we believe. And all I ask is that you be patient. And when I leave this diocese in my deacon role, I'm going to make sure that I pray for this entire district and everybody involved. God bless you all, and I'm going to say that. And let's stay together.
All right, thank you, Trustee Gross. Treasurer Terry.
You not ready?
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot to follow up. Good evening, everybody. I guess I'll start at the top regarding the awards and recognitions. Congratulations again to all my board members. As far as continuing to learning and educate yourself so we can make the best decisions and choices for this district and keep pushing forward. Also want to say congratulations to all of the ladies with the STEM with the twist. I wish you the best when you go to your global challenges, and do your best out there and continue to make Pontiac proud and represent that Pontiac Middle School, if I'm correct. Pontiac Middle School students? Yes, the Pontiac Middle School. Good reports from ILA and SEA. I appreciate those reports. Information is always good, especially when it's positive, but it's also reflecting on us continue to move forward and make those adjustments that we find to be necessary to improve things. I also want to say good information on the Reimagine Phase 1. Obviously, this was just recommendation. Obviously, there's going to be more discussion, so let's just keep that in mind as we move forward. There was no set date or time that I'm aware of on this one. It was just more or less for a recommendation and also for discussion. But I do look forward to more details coming in the near future as well. I would say overall, just listening to all of my trustees and the community, the ones that came up, the public comments, I would say just listening to everything, choices. That's the word I want to use right now, choices. Individuals, we all make our own individual choices. When you take that and look at the district as a whole, there's numbers out there that reflect that we're probably not happy with. I know a lot of us on the board are probably not happy with. We take our wins, we take our losses, but there's choices out there. It all can be blamed and pointed at the board and administration staff, but as our teachers and principals as well, there's choices out there that everyone has to make. You come to work every day, you have to make a choice. Am I going to educate this kid, or I'm going to push this kid into the corner? Am I just here to get a paycheck, or I'm here to make that dedication and commitment? So there's always choices out there. As a board member myself, I'm trying to make the best choices I can for this district to continue to push this board forward and this district forward. But I also need everyone in this district. If we're going to be one, let's make the right choices. We can blame anybody, we can point out anything, but what choices are we doing to make improvements? Are we making any goals? Are we setting any goals? Are we accomplishing any goals? Are you going into your classrooms? Are you, pushing and encouraging your students? Are you wanting them to be the best? Those are choices also. Or are you just here taking attendance, passing out an iReady? Here's your assignment. Figure it out. My biggest concern is also the grades. Everyone knows that. But there's choices out there. Are we choosing to hold people accountable? Are we choosing to go into classrooms and do observations correctly? Are we doing the best thing that we can? Are we putting in that extra overtime? Or if I'm not getting paid, then I'm not staying. There's choices to be made. It goes as a board member as well. But if we're going to move this district forward, I need everybody to take their own accountability of yourself. yourself. Attendance is important. I'm in total agreement. If the kids aren't there, they can't learn. But if you're making that choice where you come into class and you half prepared, ill prepared, not ready, aren't giving the students all the equipment and technology and the tools and the skills they need to advance, that's a choice too. That's a choice too. A lot of these teachers are in the forefront. You guys are down in the just the dirt and the grudge. You up front. You're the first ones out there to them kids. But if your choice is, oh, we're not gonna worry about it, give them something to fight with, but then you don't give them no ammunition, how long you think they're gonna survive? They're not gonna be ready for the real world. So for me today, on top of everything else in my trustees have said, choices from the top down, choices. We're making the best choices we can, but I need every teacher to step up and make the right choice for those students. All of our students, not just certain ones, just not because they're in the program, but all our students, because they struggle when they come to school and they feel that they're not loved. And you're not there to show them any love because that's your choice. But they're struggling. They're not getting it at home for whatever reasons. We don't know their circumstances. But just think about that. If they were your kids and they came to your classroom, what choice would you make? What choice would you make? Are you going to give them the best in everything you got? Or are you just going to come in there and half step? Oh, I'm here today. I'm going to put in my 7.5 hours and I'm out. Oh, they not trying to learn it. Well, I don't know. I'll let them try to figure it out. I'm going to stop right there. But choices, that's my word. Just choices for today. Thank you.
Thank you. VP Bowman.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
This was a splendid meeting, and I'm just urging the community to take a look at the climate that we're creating in this space. You know, we are the school district. You know, we do have our children watching us. It trickles down. It doesn't come from the bottom up. It comes from the top down. So we need to be mindful on how we treat each other with dignity and respect. We are allowed to have disagreements and misunderstandings and arguments, but as long as we do it in a dignified manner. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to serve this community. I'm grateful to be a fabric of what this community looks like, because I am a product of this place. But I have my reasons to show up, and I know that everyone does too. But I hope that we're showing up for the right reasons, and I hope that we continue to show up for this community. There's a divide here, but with continued conversations and collaborations, we can work together to mend this. Our community is in a peculiar space, and we have to work together. It's imperative. There's no I in team, and we all need to lift this heavy load together. We have to set the narrative on what it looks like to be a part of this Pontiac family, and learning each other and working together as a board, learning each other. That in itself is a heavy undertaking, because we're not the same board that we were 3 months ago. We are a whole new group of people, and we need to learn each other. So just like we, the board members, we need to learn each other and learn how to work together. Our community continues to grow, and we need to continue to learn to work together, but do it in a dignified manner. We have to change how this looks. We can't keep doing the same thing expecting different results. I'm grateful for our young people. I'm grateful for the families who choose to come to be a part of this community, because you can go anywhere in the world, but you choose to be here in Pontiac. Thank you. Thank you to the teachers. Thank you to the staff. Thank you to the students, because you can be anywhere else in the world, but you want to be here with us. And we don't take that lightly. I know I don't take it lightly, because it's a choice to be here. So I hope that we can continue to work together and know that this is not the end, it's the beginning of great things that Pontiac will do. So sometimes it has to get a little bit ugly in order to clear out the cobwebs so that we can get on the other side of it. I'm just grateful that we're in a space where we can continue to grow and get on the other side of the hard parts. So with that being said, congratulations again to my colleagues. I'm grateful for our students who continue to show up and show out, because no matter what is said about Pontiac, no matter where I go in the world, someone always kind of say, yeah, Pontiac, I heard of that place. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful, and I just ready to continue the hard work. So thank you and good night.
Thank you, VP Bowman. I am not going to repeat everything that everybody has been said tonight. I do respect and thank all of you for your well thought out comments and just your compassion for the school district. And I'm thankful for all those that show up at our meeting. So I'm going to leave it at that. If I can get a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Support.
It has been moved by Trustee Dooley, supported by VP Bowman, to adjourn the meeting. Any questions? Roll call.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
Yes.
Trustee Dooley,
Yes.
Trustee Grove,
Yes.
President Hannah.
Yes. All right, meeting is adjourned at 8:20 p.m. Thank you, everybody, and thank you for those that tuned in. Have a good night.